Are you new to prepping or a seasoned pro? Check out this video to see if you are on the right track or to find out if you just may have missed something along your way. Hello preppers and welcome to my channel. I am the Community Prepper, and today we will be talking about my top 10 tips for those of you who might be new to prepping. And for you old salts, perhaps I'll touch on something you may have never thought of before. If you are new to my channel, please do me a solid and hit that like button. Also, the best thing you can do to help my channel grow is by subscribing, commenting below, and hitting the notification bell. In my top 10 list, there will be some tips and tricks that can help you along your journey in prepping. However, I am making this video as a starting point, as I can go into great detail about each tip and topic I address. Think of it as a prepping 101, as we are merely scratching the surface on prepping. So without further ado, here is my top 10 tips to help you on your path to prepping and self-sufficiency. Prepping is a lifestyle you may have just discovered, or one you may have been practicing for some time. Feeling overwhelmed is the number one complaint I hear from new preppers. It can become tiresome, and many people want to quit due to the overwhelming feelings of where do I even start? But remember why you're thinking about getting into prepping, or why you already prep. I prep for one simple reason: to mitigate the adversities an emergency situation will force me to face. That being said, realize there is no perfect prep, but doing the most you can now will ensure a better outcome than if you were to do nothing at all. Attack prepping a little bit at a time by putting away some extra money for emergency food and water and gear that will help you when needed. Dedicate time to learning as much as you possibly can. I always say knowledge is weightless. It will never bog you down or slow you up. Having a head full of knowledge will make your life easier in all aspects. Don't try to do everything all at once. Rather, chip away at it a little at a time. Make short-term goals that won't cost you an arm and a leg. Perhaps the easiest thing you can do right after this video is going to the store and purchasing 3 weeks of water for you and your family. Water will be one of the most important things you will need in emergency situations, because we can only go 3 days without drinking. Another thing to do is list the emergency situations you are most likely to face based on where you live. It could be natural disasters like earthquakes or hurricanes. It could be man-made concerns like crime or inflation. What about a power outage when the outside temperature is -3? Take that list and order them from most likely to least likely. Now you've already done some homework in what you may face in the near future. Next is to make prepping a fun hobby for you and your family to enjoy. This will open a pathway to having discussions with you and your family about disaster plans, communication without cell phones, meeting points if you can't get home, and a plan of attack. Be aware about how you approach your children with the idea of prepping. Be sure not to scare them, but rather instill a mindset of responsibility and self-sufficiency. Open the idea to them as a way of being safe and secure, like putting on a warm jacket when it's cold outside. Next is to prep your mind, body, and supplies, and know your limitations. I view prepping as a three-sided triangle: mind, body, and supplies. If one of the sides of that triangle fall, it collapses upon itself. Having all the prepping gear in the world is useless if you don't know how to use it. Gear without the knowledge of using said gear renders that gear useless. Whenever I purchase a cool new piece of prepping equipment, the first thing I do is learn how to use it. I test it. I play with it. Know how to use it quickly when time may be an issue. Get out there and learn your gear. Knowledge is weightless. Next, prepping your body for physical tasks like walking, endurance, chopping wood, lifting. Cardiovascular shape can be a lifesaver, not only for a long and heart-healthy life. It makes work easier in a situation where cars, electricity, and modern conveniences may be out of commission. If you are out of shape, today is the best time to visit your doctor for a clean bill of health and to begin an exercise routine that will help your physical endurance when hard times befall us. An unprepared mind in an emergency situation will make everything more difficult. Working under stress will challenge your mental stamina. Decision-making may become harder doing normal mundane tasks. A good way to prepare your mind for stressful times is by role-playing. While driving your car, imagine getting a flat tire. Would you panic or be better prepared because you thought this scenario through ahead of time? The same thing goes for other emergency situations. Role-play everything. The next time you and your family are out to dinner, imagine a robber coming through the door of the restaurant and wreaking havoc. After role-playing that scenario, I guarantee you no longer sit with your back to an entrance. Prepping your mind, body, and supplies now will make future emergencies much less impactful on you and your family. Number 4, information. Information is free and everywhere. Do your diligent research. Get info from a variety of sources will be your best option. The truth is usually somewhere in the middle. Think of getting your information about prepping like watching cable news. One side says the sky is falling, while the other channel or the other side are planning their vacations. Seek out meetup groups, message boards, YouTube channels, and survival books. Again, knowledge is weightless. Don't get caught up in doomsday messaging. Remember that fear sells. The media wants to scare the hell out of you for ratings. A common statement around nightly news outlets is, if it bleeds, it leads. Again, getting your information from a variety of sources will make you well-rounded on your journey to prepping and self-sufficiency. Be aware of who you share your knowledge and prepping skills with. Practice OBSEC, or observational security. Discussing your preps with unprepared neighbors may bite you in the butt. You may get excited about your prepping milestones and want to tell everyone in your neighborhood, but remember, everyone you tell who isn't prepping for themselves will be knocking on your door when the SHIT hits the fan. A common prepper phrase in regard to OBSEC is, have more than you show less than you know. Bottom line, don't blab to everyone about your preps. Budget money every month for extra supplies, food, and water. A little at a time, don't go broke. Part of prepping is financial prepping. Refer to that list you made earlier about the most common emergency situations you might face. Prepping your food and water storage should be a priority in the earliest stages of prepping. FEMA suggests storing at your home, at minimum, enough food and water for 3 weeks for yourself and each family member. So go out today and get your water stash taken care of. Get at least the minimum amounts of food and water stored in your home for you and your family. You can only go 3 days without water and 3 weeks without food. You will need 1 gallon of water per day per person. Again, FEMA recommends 3 weeks of food and water in your home at all times. That is the bare minimum. The easiest thing you can do today, right after you watch this video, is buy water in plastic bottles. They are good for much longer than the expiration date, if kept in a cool, dark environment. Begin what is called a working pantry for your food stores. The easiest way to describe a working pantry is a pantry that you keep as a backup of all your normal food you eat. In my home, I keep a separate shelving area in my kitchen that I stock with food I normally eat. I don't pull food from these shelves unless I am out of stock in my normal cabinets in my kitchen. I then write on my grocery list to replace what I've pulled from my working pantry. This will keep you in constant stock of everything you normally eat and will constantly keep your food cycled so it never goes bad or expires. A simple way of explaining a working pantry is this. If you eat 2 cans of soup a week, get 6 for your working pantry. When you're out of soup in your cabinets, shop for soup in your working pantry. This rotates your prep stocks and you will continually replace them. Number 10, don't forget about your pets. They like to eat too. Get a month of pet food and treats for your pets. So yeah, starting to prep can be very overwhelming. Hopefully this guide will help lessen the stress and put you on a successful path to your prepping goals. If you start to feel overwhelmed on your journey, it may help to revisit this video and put things back into perspective. Now for my tip of the week. In my opinion, one of the best and easiest ways to start prepping is by setting up a blackout kit or power outage kit or bag. This could give you the momentum you need in your prepping goals. It's easy, it's fun, and it will help you to start thinking critically about emergency situations. Get your family involved too. Make a game of it as to who can think up the most important tools you'll need when the electricity goes out. A power outage is the most common thing that every American will probably face on a regular basis, and it's one we can easily prepare for. Many people are caught flat-footed when the power goes out. Some may not even have candles, flashlights, or even extra batteries. Start doing some research into how to be the best prepared for a power outage, whether it lasts only a few hours or up to a few weeks. There are many different things to factor in with relation to the time the power will be out. Start thinking about what you'll need to do if the power is out and it's 3 degrees. Also, stay tuned. Something tells me my very next video might be on prepping for a power outage. Thank you for sticking with me until the end of this video. If you have made it this far, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel and comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about prepping and your personal stories you've made along the way. Until next time, I am the Community Prepper, and remember, refuse to be a victim.